Today, I am excited to talk about Phonak's newest hearing aid line. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Emily. I created Definite Hearing as a way to increase awareness for the deaf and hard of hearing. I am hard of hearing myself. I wear hearing aids and I love them so much. Check them out. I chose white hearing aids because I love that they don't blend in with my hair. I like to stand out. Do you like to stand out? Or do you prefer to keep your hearing aids quiet and discreet? I'd love to hear in the comments below. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to making more great content for you. As far as explaining this line that Phonak is coming out with is called the Paradise line. Their previous lines were the Marvel line, the Belong line, and others. Hearing aids don't release as consistently as smartphones or cars that release every year, but they release in a similar manner that there's kind of an overarching title, so the Paradise line, that has the same models that come through that are improved year upon year. In the last Phonak line, the Marvel line, there were the hearing aid models, the Audio, the Bolero, the Nadia, the Virto, and the children's model, the Sky. With the Paradise line, Phonak has only released the Audio and the Nadia models. So the first thing that I noticed about these hearing aids was that there was a significant change in brand marketing. With the Marvel line, it was all about socializing and confidence and interacting with others. And hearing aid messages were really focusing on socialize with people, but make sure your hearing aids are discreet. With this next line, Phonak is focusing on life is on. I love this. And mainly the shift in marketing has come because we're not socializing as much, number one, due to coronavirus. But number two, there is a definite shift in hearing aid perception by those who are wearing hearing aids. As I mentioned earlier, I like my white hearing aids. I like that they stand out. I like to choose ear molds that are bright and colorful. And I am finding through my interactions with other hard of hearing people that they like that as well. I've only met a handful of people that prefer to keep their hearing aids discreet, and usually there's a direct correlation to confidence with that. Anyone who feels like they want to keep their hearing aids discreet usually say that I'm just not very confident with my hearing aids. I haven't been wearing them for very long. I don't want people to know because they don't know. And that is understandable, and that is totally okay. I just really love that Phonak is realizing that hearing aids are not about what other people think about us. They shouldn't be. We shouldn't be making purchases for a hearing loss. It's something specific to us based on a generalized message of, I want to look good for other people, when we're clearly getting hearing aids to help our own problem. So I love that. I love that shift in messaging. Something that I really noticed about this new line is that the Paradise has been improved in terms of their technology with the digital aspects, the Bluetooth connectivity, and their AutoSense. They now have an AutoSense OS 4.0. The models are compatible with Android, iPhone, and other smartphone devices. It's so awesome that hearing aids are becoming incredibly compatible with all of our other devices. I mean, it's about time. We have solar-powered cars and are landing rovers on Mars. Like, yes, let's up the hearing aid technology. It is looking like the Paradise line will also be compatible with all of the Phonak accessories. The Phonak Nadia brags that the device can be paired up to 8 different Bluetooth devices. That's incredible. So imagine your TV, your phone, like your computer, all of that, all of a sudden now connects to your hearing aids. You don't need different devices and accessories to make hearing happen. That's so cool. The way that these hearing aids are different are in their looks, in the hearing aid strength, and in their power method. With regards to the hearing aid looks, we have the Virto from the Marvel line is an in-the-ear canal hearing aid. The Audio is just a RIC where it has a small wire. The Bolero and the Nadia have the hearing aid style that I have with a thick tube, and they function in the way that the receiver and the processor are behind the ear. This is why this is called a behind-the-ear model. With the RIC or Audio model, it is a receiver in the canal, which means that the hearing aid receives the sound, sends it down the wire to be processed and into our ear. Typically, historically speaking, The receiver and the canal hearing aids are better for mild to moderate losses, and the behind the ear models are better for more severe losses, so moderate to severe to profound. After that, cochlear implants are usually recommended. Fun tip, if you go to phonakpro.com, you can look at the different hearing aid models and their thresholds. It is so awesome. Check this out. So you can see my hearing loss on the map of the Nadia threshold graph on the audiogram. Now, as you can see, because my hearing loss is outside of the blue colored area for the Nadia hearing aid would not be a good fit for me. It is always good to have a hearing aid in which your audiogram or your hearing charts are well within the shaded areas. The reasoning for this is because hearing changes, it fluctuates, and you want to get a hearing aid where you're well within the boundaries. So if you have to make an adjustment, you easily can. You don't have to buy new hearing aids. In addition to that, if your hearing aids are close to the threshold, especially if they're pushing the bottom threshold, your hearing aids will be more susceptible to feedback. They're super sensitive and it gets super annoying. So if you're trying to decide between a hearing aid where it's smaller, it doesn't have as much power for your hearing loss, but it's more discreet, between a hearing aid that's bigger, that has a safer threshold for your loss, definitely go with the bigger one because the feedback will drive you crazy. You won't want to wear your hearing aids, and what's the point of spending thousands of dollars on a piece of tech that you won't wear? There's no point. Ultimately, your audiologist will map your hearing and fit you with the proper hearing aid. They will make different recommendations, but ask to see those charts. Ask to understand what your loss is and what hearing aid they are fitting you with. That is really important. And I mentioned the audiologist. Go to an audiologist for your hearing aids. I could get on a whole soapbox about that, but back to the Paradise Marvel line. So that also included the power realms. When you're talking about hearing aid powers, different looks, different powers, it's important to get the hearing aid strength that fits your hearing threshold, and your audiologist will help you with that. Next, let's talk about power, meaning battery power. How do hearing aids run? Unfortunately, they're not solar powered yet. Phonak hearing aids have the options of including batteries, or they have rechargeable hearing aids. You just recharge the whole hearing aid on those models. If you see a Phonak model and there's an R at the end of it, that means rechargeable. I personally do not have rechargeable hearing aids. I have not got used to the idea of if my hearing aid died, like I would have to wait for it to recharge. I like just being able to just put a battery in and head off on my way. Although I do have to say, Phonak brags of a rechargeable battery life of up to 6 years. That's pretty impressive considering the fact that most hearing aids last 3 to 5 years. I personally just think I'm going to stick with batteries because I feel like those hearing aids last longer. I would rather pay for replaceable batteries than have to pay for a whole new set of rechargeable hearing aids. But do you have rechargeable hearing aids? If so, how long have you had them? Have you noticed any power glitches or cons with them? Or pros? I would love to hear them in the comments below. So there you have it. What kind of hearing aids do you have, or do you think you're going to get? I love the Phonak hearing aid line. Like I said earlier, I wear Resounds and I love them. They're super great too. I probably won't get to have the Paradise line because by then I bet Phonak will have another line. So for now, I'm going to enjoy my Resound Enzo 3Ds. Do you have any questions for me? If so, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.